Hello, welcome back to Truth to Lead You podcast, where we chat about realistic leadership theories. On today's episode, we're here again, doing amazing things with amazing young people, amazing leaders who are role models and inspiration to the community. On today's episode, I want to acknowledge that we are the National Black Canadian Summit. A summit where is recognizing on diverse perspective, diverse people coming together to make action for a national agenda, a national Black agenda that will continue to help us moving forward. And so I want to invite young people to this platform, and also leaders like the Deputy Minister of African Nova Scotian Affairs, who's going to be talking a bit about why is youth development important and what it brings forth, and introducing these young people who is going to be here just to connect with us, just to understand their perspective of why this session, this summit is important to them. But before we start, I would like to acknowledge that we are in a space right now at the Halifax Convention Center, so disregard the noise in the background, and we're here focusing on the key message that's present with us. But before we go, I would like to check in with the amazing co-host, Joshua Deal. What's going on, man?
It's good to be here talking to these wonderful guests. I'm very looking forward to the conversation.
Awesome. No, Josh, it's always good to have young people on, and I want to start with these amazing young people. Can you state your name, school, and also tell us why this summit is important to you?
My name is Sierra Cox. I'm a student at the Afrocentric cohort in Greenwich, Nova Scotia, and I think it's important to be here to make connections and meet new people.
That's awesome. Connections and new people is really good, and it helps us to engage more. That's really awesome. Thank you so much.
My name is Fiona in Niomane, and I also go to Horton High School, and I'm a part of the cohort at Horton High School. I think it's important to have events like this because we get to learn more stuff like statistics about Black people and stuff about education. So it's,
And that's so important, knowing our history, knowing us, how we should connect with our peers, our persons of color. That helps us to connect more in the community. That's really awesome. Thank you for sharing. What about yourself?
I'm Jordan Alders. I also go to Horton High School, and I'm part of the Afrocentric cohort there. I think this place is great. It's seeing all these different people come together and just talking and being with people the same, kind of like a group that has been for so long been a minority, just like being together and like having that power to show themselves kind of deal.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. Looking at that perspective of amazing people from different parts of the world, from the United Nations, bringing different perspectives, that's really good. Thank you all for sharing that. That really means a lot just to hear your perspective. Minister Provo, it's good to have you, sir, here. And we're here with a lot of diverse people here, but also a lot of young people who are bringing a lot of creativity to the table. Why do you think this is important for the moment of young people to see?
Anytime you have an opportunity to bring people together, be it older people or younger people, it's an opportunity for people of African descent to be able to talk about the issues that are important to them. It's even more important for our youth to be able to see themselves as a collective, not just as individuals, because I'm certain on a daily basis, all too well the world tells you that you're part of an individualized group as opposed to a provincial collective, and you can get a chance to see that it's bigger than you, and some of the same things you're experiencing are the same things that others are experiencing as well. But also that you have folks that are trying to work on some of those solutions to some of those problems that you have. And it's always good to see, especially with some of the extreme talent that we have here at the summit, of people who can actually help give some direction on how to manage some of those issues that you might be experiencing, even as you start to enter your journey into secondary, then potentially post-secondary. So for us, it's important. So for African Nova Scotian Affairs, that's why we had no problem in sponsoring, helping to sponsor as one of the many sponsors of this summit. But the piece that we were looking at was trying to create something that allowed youth to be a big piece of this, right? And it's always important to me. I guess if I look back at it, if you look back at what my foundation was. My foundation is in education, right?
Yep.
And so knowing how much and how valuable that our youth are to what's going to happen in generations to come is extremely important. Making sure that they have all the learnings that we've taken in so that they can make things a little bit better for the generation after them. And so having them there is absolutely wonderful, and I look forward to talking to every one of you if I can at some point today.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Minister. It's always good to have leaders like yourself advocating for young people and also African Nova Scotian people and people in general just connecting, and that's really important. At Truth Leading You podcast, we try to end with a word, a quote, or a saying, and I want to ask you, Minister, what is your word of saying? And Josh, I'm going to go to you. Ask, what is your word of saying as we continue? So, Minister, what is your word of saying that you would like to move forward with our young people, for them who are listening here today?
All right. So, first of all, so I don't get in any kind of hot water with the real politicians. I'm the highest end of the civil service. I'm a deputy, associate deputy. But what I would say to you is typically what I say to my own kids is that no matter what the situation, right? It's never as bad as you ever think it is. It's all about perspective. Take a moment, step back, and then have an opportunity to then try to analyze after. No matter what the situation is. And I've learned that in my own career, right? Growing up and everything else. And when you can reflect back on it, you can look back and say, well, I guess it wasn't as bad. But in the moment, things do feel like there's nowhere to turn.
100%.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? That feels really good.
Yeah.
That feels inspiring.
Yeah.
That's good. Thank you so much, Minister. Josh.
Yeah, for me it's definitely, I think, diversity. Just looking at the people here, even though we all look different, we all have different experiences, and being able to come to something like this, and we all learn from each other. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve as a community and also society. So yeah, it's definitely just the diversity, and it's beautiful to see here.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you all for coming. It's really good to have all of you here on today's podcast. I would like to end with this saying: if you want to change the world, look at the persons in front of you. They are a part of the world. They are from different aspects of life that brings change to move forward and to make action. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the next episode.